authentic. Let's say it's just we're here talking.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, for me, I'm Jeff DeVaughn from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I went to Academy Park High School right outside of Philly. Um, so for me, my recruiting process, it was tough, man. It wasn't like the movies. Like it wasn't like everybody you see on their social media, the glam, the glory, posting all your offers, this, and the third. I struggled, honestly. Mine was tough, but my main problem was SAT scores. That's the only thing that
Sure.
helped me back. I had the grades, I had the film and stuff like that. I had coaches coming in and out of the schools for me. I just couldn't get that SAT score. That was my only downfall. Uh, it was tough. It was tough just seeing other people you grew up with and you train with. You see them get offers, knowing like you start comparing stats and stuff like that. And the third, like my stats is better than his. I'm not, like, what's going on?
Exactly,
But
exactly. And that's what a lot of, young folks tend to think that, hey, they can go show out on Friday, but come Monday, they can lax and be a little, lackluster. But at the end of the day, that's not getting the job done. So
no, and it's different. And it's real different, especially like for me, my SAT test was always after a game. So that was another downfall for me. Like I'll be banged up from a game, then I gotta go take a 3 hour, 4 hour exam. And
right,
I
right.
struggled with it. I was never a good test taker, but for me, my grades were so strong. I had like a 3.5 coming out of high school. So
That's
the
awesome.
good thing about that, my SAT score can be a little bit like can be lower than a normal average score. So um, I took the SAT score test like 5 times, honestly, five. I took the ACT twice, so I took that test 7 times in total, and it took me on the seventh try to get that score I needed. So
Sure.
I never got discouraged. I was mad and like down, but like I know I want to go to college. I need to get this score to get in college. So, and for me, it was like coaches coming in and out the school, like Villanova. Villanova was my top school at first, honestly.
Sure,
I
sure.
was gonna go there,
Especially,
Coach Miller.
coming from Philly,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right there around the corner and stuff like that. And Coach Mark Ferrante was always in school, like always the head coach now at Villanova, but he always called me. He always pop up randomly. Jeff, I'm here. Come outside. I'm like, all right, coach, here I come. So we had a strong relationship. I went there. I went to their camp and I killed it. Like literally killed it. Like nobody quarter pass on me. Ran a 4.4 or something like that, and just had a great day. But they was like, all right, Jeff, we're just waiting on that one thing now. I'm like, I know. So that pressure building up to third. It was hard. It was kind of tough sticking around, but Maine came late. Honestly, it came extremely late. I didn't know nothing about Maine.
Sure.
They literally came like a couple weeks before signing day,
That sounds
and
like
I blew them off at first.
Darius's story. Came basically at the
Yeah, I
11th
blew.
hour. I mean, he flew out what, on a Thursday or Friday. Signing day was Monday or Tuesday. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I blew them off. Honestly, I didn't know where Maine was at and nothing about Maine. I thought it was like D2 or D3. I'm like, man, I'm getting D1 looks right now. I'm like, I'm gonna take the JUCO route. That mindset of not knowing
right,
and
right,
not caring. Like I could have still went to like D2 schools and had stuff like that, but I was like, I'm going to JUCO because I'm a D1 player, second, third, not knowing all that stuff about recruiting and who's in your ear, who's telling you what to do, who's not to do.
right.
I had JUCO on my mind already set. I already got my JUCO school going out too, just in third. The Maine start coming around. I'm like, where's this school? Like, who the hell is Maine? Like, I'm not going to Maine. Like, I'm literally sitting in the meal with the pamphlet in my hand, like just blowing them off. Like, yeah, whatever, man.
Man, I went to a
Whatever.
Google search to figure out. I didn't know if it was D1, D2, D3, like what it
I
looked like. And then I was like, damn, man. I said, man, you better learn how to ice fish or go moose hunting because I don't know what else you're gonna do up there, right? So
yeah, so I did that. Actually, I
yeah,
Googled it and it's like D1. I was like, oh, okay, now we're talking.
right, right.
Then then they won the championship the year I was coming in. So it was first on the
Okay,
championship. I'm like, oh, so they won a championship. And crazy part about this is I was getting recruited by Villanova so heavily. I wasn't going to that Maine versus Villanova game. I was like, Villanova playing Maine, not wasting my time going to that game. Like Villanova's obviously going to win. Like, but
right, right.
Maine wound up winning. I was like, oh snap! So I heard about that. I was like, man, let me get a school a shot. Let me start looking at it. Then they start coming heavily. Coach U at the time was coming to recruit me, but he wasn't there no more. Then Coach Stevens would always pop up. I'm like, all right, these guys are serious now. Like, then my guidance counselor always had an inside like scoop on them. She was like, yo, they love you, Jeff. They love you so much that they really, really want you. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, all right. She's like, just gotta get that 62 score. I'm like, okay. Then Coach H called me and he said he met me in a blizzard in Philly, and that was big for me. That was like the thing that took me over the top. Like, if they come here in a blizzard to come and recruit me and come see me, that's extremely important. I really appreciated that. So that was right before my visit. He came down to see me in the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot because school was closed, stuff like
Oh
that.
wow.
But now that I know it wasn't a blizzard for him, it was a regular day in
Look,
Maine,
I
and
was
out
gonna
here,
say, boy, schools were open. It was a
yeah, schools.
normal working day.
Yeah, it's a normal working day. So out here in Philly, when I was looking at it, I was like, it's a blizzard. You crazy? I'm not coming outside this, but I got this Maine. I was like, oh, that wasn't nothing no more. So I see why you came out there. But just
Uber
had a
drivers
nice
got chains on
conversation.
their tires.
Yeah, so we had a nice conversation, just a genuine conversation, just talking and just building that chemistry and stuff like that. He just told me how my visit's going to be, what was I going to do on my visit and stuff like that. So it took me when I got the Maine, I seen it. I was like, I was culture shocked, honestly. I was really, really culture shocked. And I was like, first I got on this little plane with Jamil. I was with Jamil and everybody, like, was in the same visit. Got on this plane, and I'm like, I see them, they all getting the plane like this, ducking their heads. They can't fit on there. I'm like, yo, I never done a plane this little. Like, it was a short, easy flight. Got off, and I ain't seen no billboards, no
No, nothing.
skyscraper, no city. And it was like, oh, no, I can't do this. Like, and I was nervous, honestly. I was really nervous. I had a varsity jacket on. Cold as you know what out there. I'm like, I'm my varsity jacket bundled up. I'm like, it's so cool. But just getting around the guys and getting around the team really pushed me over the edge too. Just
Sure.
seeing like the work they're putting in and the environment, like, and what helped me, honestly, there was already Philly guys there. So Najee Good and Jalil Reed and stuff like that. And I knew them from high school and stuff like that. I knew Najee and I knew
Okay.
Jalil from way younger days because him and my brother and family, they played basketball together. So that's how I got that connection too. So
Yeah, that
that was
always helps.
a motivation for me to go there, feel comfortable going there. So that was good. And the visit, I still didn't have that SAT score. So the whole time, like, I didn't have an offer going there. I was out there on a limb.
Oh
So
wow.
I just went out there to visit on and seeing it. I was like, this is good and all, but they was like, you still need that SAT score. So they stuck with me. Coach Kaz talked to me the day before we left. He was like, yeah, we like you, saying third, just need that SAT score. We're gonna let you know. And I was like, I gotta get it. Then that following week, I had my SAT test, and literally the first time I opened that packet up, the story was Maine. It was crazy. Like, my reading article was about Maine. I'm like, thank you, God. Like, thank you. I knew I passed that. That's like, you got to be giving me a sign right now that I got this. I'm getting in school right
Right,
now.
right.
So, wound up getting the score I needed and over the score I needed. And Coach Kaz, like, they called. The thing about it, they just called me throughout the week and motivated me, giving that encouragement. They can do that for me, and like, just I felt the love, honestly. It wasn't like fake. It wasn't like forced. Like, it
It was
wasn't
very
like that
genuine.
coach. Like,
Yeah.
it was real genuine. Like, and I had that love. So, and that was important for me. And I got the score. I called them, let them know. Then a couple of days later, they called me in my driveway. I was in my car, me and my friends, and we were just sitting there. I answered the phone. He's like, "Hey, it's Coach U from University of Maine." I'm like, "What's up, Coach? How you doing?" Saying third. I'm like, "Yeah, we'd like to offer you a scholarship." I said, "I'll take it." I accepted that thing so quick. I was like, "Yes, I'll
Don't
take it."
change your
Like,
mind. Don't change your mind. Yeah, I'll
don't change
take
my
it.
mind. I was like, I didn't even know what it was for, how much, what money it was.
Look,
Then
it's
I
something.
saw
Give it
that
here.
it was a half scholarship, but I was like, man, I'm a worker, so it doesn't bother me. I'm gonna get mine. So I went out on the limit and went out there for a half scholarship. I didn't even tell my mom, my dad, I committed to University of Maine. Like, they didn't know where I was going to school. I got in the house. I called my mom. Said, "Listen, I just committed to a school in Maine." She's like, "What?" I was like, "They got scholarships, so they paying for school." So she's like, "That's good with me, as long as they paying for something." So, and
That's
that was
great.
that was hard. That was tough, but I went out there on a limb and I loved it. And I excelled from that point on. So
Yeah. So how was the transition from high school life? Because I'm sure you were probably one of the big men, on campus coming out of high school, right? You probably had your head a
yeah,
little blown up going to college,
yeah,
right? So what
yeah.
did that look like?
It was different. My story even got even, I would say, better in college, honestly. Because in high school I was a receiver. I thought I was a receiver. I thought I was going to college for a receiver. And
Oh
I
wow.
started asking coach, I'm like, what did y'all recruit me for? They're like, DB. I'm like, oh. I'm like, oh, all right. I got to get better at DB now. Like, because
Did
in
you play
high
both
school, I
sides
just,
in high school?
yeah, I played both sides of high school. I always did better at DB. And in my heart, I did better at receiver, the
Sure.
glam and glory. But when I was getting my accolades, I was getting better honors at DB and stuff like that. So, but
Right, right.
um, got to college, went there for cornerback. Coach Burkett was my cornerback coach. So me and Coach B had that connection, and it was tough. That transition to college was tough. 'Cause I didn't play press, man. I didn't do none of that. I played off and just sat there and zoned and stuff like that. So there and man, you gotta be able to play press. You gotta play man every rep. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Like, and I was getting exposed. Like, I was getting real. Like, I was getting beat bad plays this and there, but my confidence was always there. And I was like, no, I'm not switching it. I start the conversation started going like, what about safety, Jeff? I was like, no, I never played safety. Not safety's not for me. I'm not going back there because I remember one day in high school I tried it out and I was like, I don't want to be back here by myself. That don't feel right. I was like, no, let me go back over there at corner. But I transitioned to safety and I felt it coming because I was getting scout team reps at safety. He's like, yeah, we need safety real quick. Jeff, come try it out. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna know this. I'll go try the little
You want to
freshman
go
league.
play
All
wherever you
right,
want.
go
You
do
give
it
me a
real quick.
scholarship. We'll try it out.
Yeah, I'll do it real quick. But I'm running back to my literally my first play. I really make a crazy speed turn, break, catch a pick. I'm like, damn, I should never did that. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting switched. I'm getting switched. I can feel it now. So yeah, I went there. I went next day. Coach B called me in his office, like, yeah, man, Coach Webby, your new coach. You moving to safety. I'm like, damn. All right. But I was fighting. I was fighting. Coach was like, no, give me another chance. Like, I promise I could be a corner. I promise you. But not knowing me, not knowing that he knows the best of me, like where I can get opportunities out on the field right now and be able to
Right.
play. And I'm glad I made that switch because in camp and spring, I only had like one tackle at corner throughout the whole
Wow.
time. I like tackling, but I only had one tackle and stuff like that. It was like you're not getting that many like tackles and I'm not getting that many reps and I'm getting beat. Like confidence start getting low. I'm getting frustrated. So I think the safety position for me was a new beginnings, like a whole new identity for myself as well. So
And that
making
came
that switch, I did.
freshman year, or what year did that come?
It came after my freshman year, so kind of
Okay.
like leading into like. Matter of fact, it didn't lead. It was like my true. It was my red shirt freshman year, honestly,
Okay.
because yeah, it was my red shirt freshman middle of the season, like a couple games in the season, because we played Boston College and I was at corner, and that next week, yeah, dang, that's crazy. Yeah, it was my freshman year. My whole freshman year, I played red shirt freshman year, I played corner. The next
Okay.
year, I played corner again all through camp. Then in a couple games into the season, I started getting safety reps, and in practice, that's when they made the switch, like third game of the season. And my first game actually getting in at safety was Tulane. Yeah, so yeah, man, I forgot about that. It was Tulane, so it was middle of the season, so I really didn't have that experience still in camp. I never had a camp under me at safety. I never really had that many
And
practice reps, but
was
and
that
stuff like that.
the
You go,
first FBS, right?
yeah, versus SBS, we was getting blown out. So they threw me in the game. I wanted to get like a PBU, a fumble recovery.
So
And
you got to do
in that
something, right?
year, my that year for me was like special teams heavy. I was focused on special teams, just trying to get in the field. So I was on every special teams, and I excelled at it. So that's how you get in the field, honestly. So they see me doing good on special teams and stuff like that. And we was already getting blown out. So it was like, let's throw this kid in real quick. Let's see what he can do. Yeah.
Sure.
And, and my mindset, I don't have nothing to lose. I don't know no calls. I don't know no plays. So just go here and play football. And that's all I did my redshirt freshman year is go play football at safety. Like made plays. I wound up starting at the end of the season, like the last 3 games. And the 2 games before that I had 2 picks. And I was like just having fun, like not knowing what I was doing, but just balling. And it
Brought new
was
life to the
great.
game.
Yeah, I'm glad I made that switch. So like coaches really truly know best what's best for you.
Sure.
And as a young player, I wasn't trying to listen to him honestly. I was like, no, I'm staying at safety. I'm staying that corner. I'm not moving to safety. That's not who I am. But
Sure.
I loved it.
And
Tackle, cover, you do everything you want back there. You see the whole field. So I
and
made that
you
switch,
hear
and
a lot of stories, like that throughout, many people's careers. They'll start
yeah,
off playing quarterback in high school, and then if they transition and make it to the league, they're playing outside linebacker somehow. It's like,
yeah,
where did that happen, right?
yeah,
And it all comes back where you'll hear a lot of receivers or running backs, throwing touchdown passes, and you can't be too surprised, right? They played
yeah,
quarterback in high school, so yeah, a lot of that happens, and like you said, some people are, kind of they turn a blind eye and maybe don't have an open mind, but at the end of the
yeah,
day, coaches are coaches for a reason, right? They're mentors, they're guiders, and they want to steer you in the right direction for you to succeed. Because it's not just what's in it for them; it's ultimately what's in it for you, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
And
cool.
that was the mindset I wasn't thinking about like what's better for the team at the point because our safety position was getting hurt and things like that. So they needed bodies, and that was like easy playing time right there. And we had veteran corners already in and recruits and stuff like that. So it was good. I'm happy I did it, and I excelled at it since. So and it was good. I'm happy I made that switch because I don't know where my career would have been if I'd have just sat at corner. I'd just been a special team player all my life, never seen the field, and never got done half the stuff I did. So that was big for me. That was big for me. And that transition to college was even better because I opened up more. I done more.
Sure.
And what I mean by that is like getting out the community. That was my big thing too. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
heavily involved in the community. Like I love to be in the community, doing things like walking kids to school. I was a part of MAV, like Male Things Against Violence, stuff like that. And that stuff I never thought about just doing. It was like something I just love to do. And like I didn't have to, like coach didn't have to tell me like, Jeff, you want to go do this program? I need you to do this. I was like, I just do it because I like doing it. It's like
Right, right.
it
Yeah,
was
that's
good. Like now that I know it was great because it was building my resume and making connections all throughout campus and stuff like that. But I was just doing it because I wanted to do it, and I excelled at it, and it just got me to where I wanted to be, and a trusted person in the community, and somebody that fans can look at and trust, and like I don't know, be authentic. Like that was
sure.
my
Yeah.
thing. I wanted to be my authentic self through everything, so I never wanted to change for nobody. And some guys can get lost at in college because you're in a whole new state, whole new city, wherever you at, you can create a whole new
Yeah.
person because
Yeah, you
nobody
can
knows
become
you.
whoever you
So
want, right? You
become
know,
whoever you want,
you can be
and
you or
that
you can
doesn't
put on
work.
a disguise, right? And
Yeah,
sometimes you hear, a very genuine, story such as yourself, and then others you'll hear, folks that are one person and then put on a disguise or a front or whatever, and then ultimately, they're a hell of an athlete, but at the end of the day, they can't stay, you know, out of trouble off the field.
yeah,
And you hear about that far too many times. So that's something that through this platform, that's what I'm trying to get through to the young ones that are trying to come up. Right, I want to give them different voices, such as yourself, telling stories, and the fact that you brought up the community involvement. That's exactly every time somebody DMs me. That's a piece that of my questionnaire that I send back to them is, hey, what are you doing off the field? Because it's not
yeah,
necessarily about your talent. You could have all the talent in the world. You could be a five-star recruit, but if you're not involved in your community and doing things for others, and you're just looking out for yourself, you can get lost behind the scenes pretty quickly,
yeah.
regardless of how talented you are. So
And the thing for me is it was even harder because we wasn't winning my all my time in college. I had a lot of losing seasons until my senior year. I
right,
think
right.
I had one winning season, then we went even another season, but we wasn't winning. I never been to the playoffs, stuff like that. So
20,
it could have been
2018
hard. I could
special
just
year, right?
my senior. Hey, I don't know. That senior year was magical. That was the craziest year of my life. But it's just like I could have easily stopped and just been somebody else and just not care about community and just been a me player and like just worry
Sure.
about myself. But um, things had to change. Like leadership had to change, stuff like that. So senior year, I think it was just a crazy turnaround with just the leadership. Like it was for me. We voted for captains, and I remember like one time I was in the bathroom doing one of the players like kind of said it under his breath, like I look up to you or something like that. I'm like, I don't know. I heard him, but he didn't like. Then he walked off. But
Right, right.
even like that, we started voting for captains. Usually, how captains worked was it was every game new captains, and so it means that one week, like so, say if I'm playing Villanova, I'm gonna work hard all week because that's my hometown. I want to be captain that week.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not true. I'm the leader. You don't know who the leadership of that team is, and I think prior to my senior year, I think that's where we struggled at because we had a lot of fake leadership and it was bad, honestly, because I could work hard for one week and this captain coach gonna pick me for the be a captain or somebody gonna pick me a captain or yo bro, can you vote me for captain real quick? I need because I'm playing in jerseys. I need to be a captain for my city. Like so it was never like who can I go to because this is going on. So we didn't have that true
Right.
leader until my senior year until Coach H was like, listen, we're gonna vote for captains. We're gonna be our captains all year. And luckily enough, me and Drew got picked. Um, and one of the players like, oh yeah, you're gonna be captain. But me is like, I don't know. Like, I didn't know. Like it was. I guess I was just being myself. I never knew who I really. I think a leader doesn't know he is a leader. Just it just comes off like
It just
I just
comes
can't walk
naturally.
around.
Just who you
Yeah, I just
are.
can't tell you like, yeah, Rob, I'm a leader. Like
Right.
a leader doesn't tend to say he's a leader, but I just wanted the best for the team. Honestly, I was just tired of losing. Enough was enough, and it was just bad, honestly. So going in spring ball, I think that's when I think it was spring ball we did it. Yeah, or yeah, we wanted to start picking captains and stuff like that. Then it was a quick turnaround. We needed that. We got
Yeah,
new
the
life in the
culture
team, stuff like that.
sparked new life, after not knowing damn near a thing about Maine as a state or, Maine as a university. Obviously with Darius going there and choosing to make that, his career path. I did a lot of digging. I was trying to figure out, what Maine had to offer. And,
Yeah,
the thing that stuck out the most when he got back from that visit, because unfortunately that's the only one I didn't get to take him on, because snow. I'm in Virginia, man. I don't drive in snow, and and you fly a kid out in what was it, February, I think it was.
yeah,
Like I'm gonna have to sit that 13-hour ride. I'm gonna sit that one out. So when he went out there, he came back. He said, you know what? He said it felt like home. I was like, what do you mean felt like home, man? I was like, it's 4 degrees up there right now. He said, it felt real. He said, the chemistry between the guys that he got to meet, the coaching staff that he interacted with. He said it just felt real. It felt genuine, and it felt like home. And I think that spoke volumes about who he was, because he had a few other opportunities, not necessarily full rides or whatever. But one was from the university that he dreamt about playing his entire life. Right. We took many visits there. The coaching staff came to the school regularly. But like yourself, he had issues with his test score, and that really kept him out of the opportunity of basically walking on to whatever college he wanted. And
yeah,
so they gave him a preferred walk on option with the opportunity to earn the scholarship. And then when Maine came knocking, he had never been on an airplane in his life. Like the kid never flew on an airplane. Hell, he missed my wedding, his junior year, because we were getting married on a cruise in the Bahamas,
he
and
wasn't going there.
it was no, it was playoff football. So
Oh, okay.
my man chose to stay and play playoff football, which I respect, right? You
I
know,
respect that.
he missed the wedding, but that's how passionate he was about the game. And unfortunately, they went out in the first round, which was the first day that we departed for the cruise. Um, but neither here nor there. But um, the fact that the the culture that I got to experience, just kind of an outsider when I got there, and like you got to see, we brought the squad, right? We came with 16 family
Yeah,
members. That was a promise that I made to him that I was personally going to do in the event that he was on the field for one snap. I said, if you play one down on opening day, it's not bad enough weather where I can't drive or fly, so I'm gonna make that trip. And unfortunately, after his passing, I stayed true to my feelings, right?
you
And
did.
I said, you know what? I said, I'm still coming. And I threw the open invite to the family, and everybody really, came aboard, and we came together and put the plan in place, and we drove that 13-hour trip. And we showed out, and we got to really see what that culture was, what that family feeling was that he got to experience, just those short weeks that he was there. So yeah, 2018 was, as you know firsthand, was an incredibly special season. Very difficult time, obviously, but a very special season, season for the university. So
Yeah, and just speaking on that season, it was just crazy. Like just leading up to it, just coming off spring ball, we had a good spring, stuff like that, and just the bond we had as a team was like it was a bond I never saw before from a team that I've been on from Maine. It was crazy, and I remember like I remember Darius and Coach H when we first got like he put me to the side. I was like, I want you to be his mentor because like, of course, he's a quiet kid and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I got him. I put him on my wings and third. So the whole time he was up there, I was with him and stuff like that, and went to the barbecue and stuff like that. It was all good, and it was it was tough for me. That was probably one of the hardest, craziest, emotional days of my life because at the time I was what 22 years old, and just getting that phone call and just being I drove there and seen stuff. I was like, wow, what is going on? Like, he was literally in my past. He was literally like right behind me and staying in the car, and like that stuff hurt. And like I didn't know how to handle that because like now as a leader, now people looking at you to how to talk and lead and like
Right.
what's the message you gonna give like. And that was really hard because like I've done everything I wanted to do in college. I already got my degree. Like I was in grad school at that point. I got my degree. I played football. I've been to camp. I've been to parties. I've done all that. Like my family seen me play, and I think that was the part that was really hurt me the most. Like he never literally got to be in camp, really bond with the team in the locker room, do our stuff like we used to do in meetings and be in the meeting room with me. That's the part that really hurt me the most. I didn't know how to feel, and the part that hurt, like speaking at his eulogy here, I was like, how can I do this? Like I done it all already. Like this kid didn't get the to do it, and that was a hard because like he didn't have to be there. That was another thing about it. Like he didn't have to be there. He could have literally just came first day of camp when he with everybody else. Like, but no, he was dedicated. And the funniest story I got from him was when we was doing our little scrimmages outside on air and stuff. Well, not on air, but we was doing our little team player drills and stuff, and he blitzed both freshman corner blitz at the same time. It was like no, 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 don't blitz. And they both just took off. It was like, well, we got some work to do. They just both took off. That was funny, but that season was amazing. He was there. You couldn't tell me he wasn't there, and
That's that
you
was for
couldn't
sure.
tell
Like,
me he wasn't there
I
from
witnessed, bird's eye view, a handful of plays that, quite possibly shouldn't have happened, and
Kentucky.
they happened.
Western Kentucky,
Several games. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and
It was
then
nuts, man. I was sitting at home on the couch watching it, just mind
yeah,
blown.
Western Kentucky from 21 down 21, come back, block a kick. And I made like every time I went on that field, I touched his jersey, like, listen, I need you with me real quick. Just be here. And that was my thing. Like all season, I would just touch his jersey before I hop on that field. And that wasn't Kentucky play. I don't know. I don't know if that was Jordan Swan or that was Darius Minor in that body. I don't know who, but Swan took off that fast, that edge, and just blocked. I was like, you all right, that was you. I guess like you did that. Then the Rhode Island game, the kick, the Nova 52-yard kick. I'm like, this is
Right, right.
amazing. Like you're here with us, and what I my message to the team was after that, like before all that, was like, listen, if if you don't want to if you don't want to be here, you want dog practice and just be like lazy and don't and feel sorry for yourself. You got to think about somebody else that wanted to be here, came up here earlier, and and sacrificed himself. Like he wanted to be here. Like y'all get the opportunity to be here every day, practice on this field, do the things that you love. But we got somebody that's not here with us that wanted to be here so bad. So who are we to mess up this opportunity and our blessings right now? So that was my message daily to the team, and just make sure like you carry that message every day with you and just you feel it. So yeah, that season, man, I wish I can get that. I don't wish I can get it back because I don't want to mess it up. It was that picture perfect. So, but
Yeah.
if I can just have it like a replay and just go through a time bomb and see that season all over again, that was my greatest year of football. Just the best time of my
Sure.
life. So, and that was amazing. And that was amazing. So, and how that
Uh,
transition now to where I'm at now in Nebraska is like I done all the things I did the right way. I can honestly say, yeah, you mess up here and there, but I networked myself out too. So
sure.
by me getting out in the community and doing the things and speaking to people, that led me to where I'm at now. And the thing that hurt me the most, honestly, when I hear from my former teammates, like, dang, Jeff, I wish I'd done what you done. I wish I did this. Like that's my reason why I wanted to get back in college athlete. So I don't hear no more stories like I wish I had done this, I wish I had done that.
Right.
And that's the hurt piece right there because there's so much opportunity that you do and just being a division one athlete or any athlete division level, people want to talk to you. Like they literally just want to talk to you. They want to talk about sports. They just want to connect with
That's
you.
it.
And
That's it. I mean, you go to
if you
Walmart,
know how to put a
some
picture together, you're
sweats and a
good.
hoodie, they recognize you. They want to talk. I mean, it's real. So no, that's cool, man. So transitioning from college, you go from UMaine, you go to Nebraska. So what's your official title, and briefly, what do you do?
So I'm the post grad for diversity, inclusion, and life skill enrichment. So I do diversity inclusion work, so like Hispanic Heritage Month, we just put a video out, yeah, we just put a video out. So different diversity inclusion type related work and all that with everything that's going on now.
Sure, sure.
Um, then life skills as well. So just life after sports or life during sports, how to utilize your platform the right way.
Yeah,
Really just mentoring student athletes and stuff like that. So it was good, like to be hands on, really trying to help them utilize the right way. Like you should do this, help build your resume and etiquette stuff, financial forms, all the type of stuff we do, networking nights. So it's a whole new ball game here. Like from coming from Maine to coming here, I didn't when I first walked in this building, I was like, I commit. I'm like, I'm not even playing, but I committed off like to seeing the resources that you have here is
sure.
like, I can't see a student athlete failing in a system like this. Like you personally gotta drop out yourself or like not like really care because the resources that you have here, you cannot fail at all. It's like you literally have everything that you need in the back of your hand. Like, and it's amazing. It's really amazing to see how we treat our student athletes and the resource that we give our student athletes is amazing. And
That's
I'm
awesome.
grateful here. So
That's awesome, man.
that's
So
why I just want to give back and make sure they utilize their platforms the right way to set themselves up for future gains.
yeah, so I won't take up too much more of your time. But we'll kind of end it the way that I like to try to end anytime I speak with a collegiate player, a former collegiate player. What words of advice, and you spoke pretty much on it throughout the conversation, but what words of advice would you give to the young ones that are going to watch this and hear your story? What would you give to them going through the process now that you know what you
Um,
know?
for me, I would say be yourself throughout the whole thing. Just be yourself. Be the player that you became from little league, middle school, high school. Just always be that player. And the biggest thing I say, don't go to school for the coaches. Go to school for the school. Like, what's the
Sure,
research they have here? What's the majors they got here? Because coaches can say they're gonna be here, but opportunity comes, they're gonna leave.
sure.
So never go to school for the coaches. And that's the one thing I learned from my position coach, Coach B. Always told me that, like, don't go to school for the coach. Like, go to school for the school. You gotta go there because you got to be there 4 to 5 years. So
Right, right. You're committing for 4 or
they're
5
committing
years.
for
Coaches
five
have
years. So
they could sign a 5-year deal today, and then next week, accept a buyout and a 10-year contract somewhere else.
yeah.
So
So just be yourself and go to school for the school. So that's my advice.
that's cool, man. Well, I certainly appreciate it. As always, in what I'm doing. If you have anybody that through any sport, through your networking, by all means, put me in contact, man. I'd love to sit down with as many people as possible. Share some stories. The idea behind this platform is just really to give back, right?
Yep.
I talk about community involvement and you know with Darius being such a quiet guy, he was able to impact the community in such a major way. And ever since his passing, I went round and round on what I could do. Obviously, I worked a lot with the university. They've done fantastic things. Obviously, we got the defensive rookie of the year award named after him
Yep.
on an annual basis. So I think that's huge. But I was trying to figure out what I could do more, right? And I was like, you know what? Like I'm an outgoing person. I enjoy talking, right? But I also know what his passion was, and his passion was going through this whole process of recruiting, and he enjoyed so much of having coaches come and give him the attention that he never seen before, right? And that's a real special feeling. And that's all that we talked about, man, was what school he was going to, what school was reaching out to him, and his recruitment process is so big, but I think it's also very broken to a lot of people. A lot of people don't know really what to expect going through this process. They just think, hey, coach so and so just reached out to me. Hey, so and so, I just got an offer from, these people. But, just because they send you an offer in the mail or they call
That's
you and say, I got an offer, what does that offer look like? What does that school look like? What does that program have to offer? So, you really got to do some homework. Like you said, you got to dig into it and you got to want to be there because you're committing to them then they commit to you. So
it's a job interview. That's all it is. A big job interview, a long job interview.